we launched the Global Lockdown Content Showcase, we wanted to celebrate brands that were creating value through the massive restrictions that lockdown presented. We were looking for who was providing value by way of entertaining, educating, providing utility or inspiration. And a great example of both providing utility and inspiration was a campaign that came out of South Africa from the brand M4Jam. And I'm really delighted to be joined by their head of marketing, Angela McCann, to talk through it. So firstly, congratulations on being voted commended by our global BCMA member base. Really well done. Can you tell us firstly a bit more about M4Jam and what you are as a business in case people don't know you?
So M4Jam, M4Jam, we are a gig company. So what we do is we provide micro tasks to what the world knows as gig workers. We call them jobbers. And then we offer crowdsourcing services to businesses. So we connect corporates to the crowd. So they come and create jobs. They pay us to put jobs on the platform.
Fantastic.
And do a whole bunch of stuff for them.
Great. And so the campaign in question was called
Yes.
Lockdown Food Voucher Campaign with a twist.
Yes.
So can
Yes.
you tell us a bit more about that? What was involved?
So normally, well, especially here in South Africa, food vouchers are distributed to recipients around the country where it's an actual voucher. So like one of our big leading retailers is called Pick and Pay, or there's another one, Spar or Checkers. So they receive this physical paper voucher. What we did is through our platform, we made it digital. So within these informal markets, you get your communities, but then you also get your community shops. So during lockdown, I mean, they literally, well, none of us could really leave our house and none of us could really go to the supermarket. And I mean, I was fortunate, well, the majority of us were fortunate because we can just order online. But in the informal communities, there really isn't that much access to not so much internet, but actual companies that will deliver into the townships, for example. And that being said, also the Spazas shops, we call them Spazas, which are the local shops within the communities. And that being said, they also lose out because when these food vouchers are distributed, like normally from like the government, it's, as I said, it's excluding the Spaza owner and it's going directly to these major retailers, which really didn't need as much support as what these local community stores do. So our food voucher was digital. They had to, people in order to receive them had to go onto our platform, complete, for example, a COVID training test. Well, not really a test, but like a COVID training module. And once they've completed it, they would then get a voucher digitally, which they could go to the local Spaza, like five meters down the road or 20 meters down the road. And that Spaza then would fulfill that voucher. So the Spazas were making money and the communities were being fed. So that's why it's with the twist.
Amazing. And so you're really serving two communities there, the actual people themselves that need it and then the local community shops. That's fantastic. What was the time frame in kind of actually making those digital vouchers and kind of getting that up and running? Can you tell us about the process and how long it took?
The actual logistics process probably took us about 3 weeks, maybe less. You know, we on M4Jam, we've got quite a good relationship with various Spazas around the country because we do a lot of work, obviously, for businesses, mapping Spazas, and we've got quite a big footprint within South Africa. So, and then we've also got a jobber base of 750,000 odd. So what was really needed was just the development of it and getting the Spazas buy-in, which obviously that was simply enough because they were getting paid to put the whole basket together and remain socially distant and following all the COVID protocols.
Yeah, that's one thing I was going to ask about. What were how did the lockdown restrictions and the COVID like protocols affect, and how much of a barrier was it, and how did you overcome that?
Well, because there was no delivery into the communities, because obviously we were all locked down. So everything that was already in the communities is exactly what we used. The only development we had to do was from a app perspective, where we just had to develop a voucher system. So basically there really wasn't any interaction in terms of physical interaction. I mean, everything was already there except for the actual software, the actual voucher software.
Fantastic. And can you tell us a bit about the actual reach and kind of the numbers that you ended up getting to?
You want to know just about the campaign part, or I mean, like what I sent you, or the latest stats?
I think you could maybe talk us through how the initial campaign did, and then ongoing, how is it looking?
Okay. Well, the initial campaign did fantastic. We managed to raise just over about 4 million rands worth of funds. We paid out to the Spaza owners, the little shopkeepers, over 2 million rand within a 3-month period. And we fed over 10,000 families, and each family we based it on 6 people, and that one food voucher would feed them then for a month.
Amazing. And since then, because the campaign was towards the end of last year, so how has it continued since then?
Well, from that actual campaign, we got interest from, it's a government project. It's called the Solidarity Fund, where allocated money, or where they put money in to allocate towards certain projects and stuff, if you will, to serve fellow South Africans, the ones that are struggling. So they then came to us and they gave us, I won't give the full numbers, but quite a lot of million to continue doing this food voucher project. We actually just thought we were going to do it during lockdown, but it's just taken South Africa by storm that we've just decided to continue with it. So yes, we're getting a lot of traction from external governmental departments to continue this, which is fabulous. I mean, now we're looking at doing it into school grants and like textbooks and stuff. So
that's fantastic. That's really good.
It's very exciting.
I mean, you've created a legacy, and I think it's actually something that I'd love to spread the word about this, because it's something that many other countries could actually really adopt as well. So I think it's definitely something that could be replicated elsewhere.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what digital transformation is all about.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's a fantastic example of it. Did you, in terms of from a brand perspective, have you had any other kind of, I suppose, side results from this in terms of engagement with your brand and anything that you could speak to?
Oh, absolutely. Definitely from a public relations point of view, I mean, M4Jam's been around since 2016. I only started, up until then, they had no marketing whatsoever. I only started 2 years ago, was April. Yeah, so April 2 years ago. But up until then, nobody really knew about M4Jam. However, in the little bit of time that I was there, I did start a lot of PR activities, not so much traditional marketing, but this food voucher, we got so much coverage from it that it really has put M4Jam on the map here within South Africa. So it's just been incredible, absolutely incredible. And I mean, we all believe in the work that we do. We're very passionate about it. It's so great that people can see that M4Jam really is trying to help with our socio-economic problems, because we've got massive issues. So yeah, no, it's been wonderful.
That's amazing, really amazing. And I know you created a video about one of the. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, the content that came out of the campaign?
The video on Kerabetswa.
Yeah.
Yes. So, oh, sorry, it's a very close story to my heart. So Kerabetswa had, and I really wish for the life of me I could pronounce the actual disease, but it's about so long. But she has, or had, a really, really, really rare disease where her bones turned to stone. They actually hardened and they became like stone. So with regards to safety, I mean, her mom couldn't leave the house. I mean, she just couldn't bring anything back, take the risk of bringing anything back into the house. She really couldn't. And these food vouchers, because also Kerabetswa's mom, Julia, she also lost her job during the lockdown. So these food vouchers were, it's hard to say a saving grace because it sounds quite pompous or arrogant, but you know, that's what our food vouchers were for. And without it, like as per the video, I'm not sure how they would have actually got through it. Julia didn't have to go to the Spazas shops. We actually got one of our jobbers who lived in that same community to pick up the food parcel for her and then go and deliver it. So she never had to leave the house.
It's a really, really moving story, and we're going to play the video just after this.
Okay.
Before we just do that, I just wanted to ask if you've got any advice for other brands who want to make some pretty swift, radical digital transformation and really make a difference.
You know, I wouldn't say it's advice. I would say it's more of, I suppose, what I've experienced with M4Jam. You know, we are a very, very small team. Every single person that works for M4Jam is incredibly passionate about the cause. You don't need a lot of budget, as you saw. I mean, I literally did it on a shoestring budget. You just need to have the right energy and the right message. And also within M4Jam, I mean, this idea actually came from a support agent. So M4Jam is just open to hearing all these innovations. So we've got a very innovative, dynamic team culture within our company. And I think that's just a recipe for success.
Definitely looks like it. That's fabulous. Thanks so much for sharing your story. Yeah, so thanks very much. And yeah, let's see the video.
The location is Tshepisong. There's a lot of people living here, and most of people are living in the shacks. The other they're staying in here, and the other one is a guy, he's at work. Lots of people are struggling, so much are struggling.
I live with my wife, my son. No one working.
Most of us here in Tshepisong, we are unemployed.
No, I'm not working now because this contract was terminated because of this coronavirus. No.
There's no mall, there's no police station. And even the special school, we don't even have one, especially for us with disabled children. We have to hire the transport to take our children to some schools outside our place. So I was struggling with the food, especially that last month, it was so difficult.
I like to play with the toys. I like to write. I like to play outside. We play. We love. Let darling. Kumbala Mr. Bean, I am the kind. I bear do. Kabanu yapi.
The bone doctors, they checked in or they said, no, this is an FOP children, but then I didn't know what is an FOP children. The minute she explains to me, I just wish that we can die, me and my child. She told me that this is the starting. She's still gonna get worse. I thought maybe it's a witchcraft or something. I still took her to some sangomas, witch doctors, churches, thought maybe something will change. Most of the sangoma, they were giving us some stuff to use. They say, no, it's a witchcraft. She'll be okay, but she's never been okay. It's very difficult, especially with her not walking. So I have to take her and hold her in my arms and help her with everything. The FOP, it makes her difficult to breathe with her lungs. My fear is that she's gonna get infected, especially with the disease she's got, because you can't know when the COVID is arrived, especially when you open the window, you open the doors, you can't know. You are always worried, especially when she coughs, you are worried what's wrong with her. When there's no food, it's very painful. It's like you can say, as long as the child eats, then you can drink water and sleep.
Working for M4Jam, what we're doing is just handing out food parcels to needy people. For Soweto and Tshepisong is 312 weekly.
I'm very happy about their help. I'm so thankful.
I remember Mr. Bean.
You remember Mr. Bean?
Yes.
He's a funny guy.
She's everything. She's the one who keeps me going. So I just hope that she stays like this, not getting worse. I pray to God to help us to be only like this.
I can.
I can run.
I can run.
I can run fast.
I can run fast.